Hey guys, back at it. This is just a quick update. So we've passed our 1 year daily diary mark. Congratulations to everything that went into doing that. Intuition, my following my prompts, just being consistent. And even with all the craziness of the move and not being able to record and post daily, I still, had the intention to complete it and to, bring it forward to that full year mark. I did the first 100 days, which are actually the one that was intuitively prompted. And then personally, I kept it going for a year. So I want to thank myself and everyone else who, subscribed and listened in. Thank you so much for supporting me this way. Just by giving me your energy and your attention is just beautiful. I thank you so much. So after completing the 1 year, which wrapped up around July 4th, and the transition of moving from North Carolina to Florida, I've been getting into my routine here, unpacking and settling in to my family house, helping the kids get settled into their rooms, figuring out the dynamics of all of us under one roof. So there's 6 of us here, and it's, my my kid's great grandmother, my grandmother, my mom and her husband, and then me and the kids all together, kind of figuring out dynamics, figuring out each other's energies, how things work, the flow of things. I've been, getting into doing some interviews for, working as a yoga instructor at a few places. I have on my calendar my certification for sound healing, sound bath. I have found a really lovely chiropractor, and it's so aligned with, where I'm at right now. They do Reiki, they do crystal healing, they have yoga, they have sound healing on site, they have a little apothecary room in the front, and just the vibe and the way that I've been treated and cared for so far is just lovely. It's beautiful. So I'm really happy for that. I've been, getting used to the area again, and I've gone to a few local events that are, just up my alley, just more in tune with the spiritual side of things, which is beautiful as well. A friend of mine who's down here has a sound bath and immersion experience that I'm going to. There was a sunrise base temple, ecstatic dance, and then open tea room. So this experience was actually so beautiful and put me outside of my comfort zone. And I just was so in love with the results after. For me to push myself into something that I normally wouldn't do and be so open and understanding and allowing thoughts to come up and then giving them gratitude and then just continuing to move through to what my heart's desire was telling me. It was just a beautiful experience. So then also to be so confident and be so, I was telling my mom, not desperate for work. Not desperate to be in a societal job, in a structured position. I am not desperate. I continue to be in an abundant mindset, and that everything will be always taken care of for me, and that I am always in alignment with the path that I'm meant to take and be on. And so going into job interviews is quite different, to be in that power of, or position of power versus position of desperation. And then to be fully aligned, to let the ones that aren't meant to be fall away. Also going to check out some houses with the kids before they left for vacation with their dad. And then again, being in alignment with looking at different spaces and places and really being in tune and feeling the energies of these houses. One we couldn't even go look at because there were 2 big dogs that were loose in the house, and the realtor was like, no, we can't go if they're loose. So just to be in tune, obviously that wasn't meant to be. So we just continue to move through it. And then again, after looking at houses, just feeling in what is really supposed to happen right now. and feeling into what my heart's desire is telling me, and to just be open to that, and not being so strict on being in the societal structure of like owning a home is such a benchmark, and everybody has to achieve it. And if you haven't achieved it, then you haven't accomplished anything as an adult. So for me, it's taking a different view and opinion on what my views are, and how I want to move through life, and how I want to teach my kids, and just be. And so that's different. It's going to change. It's going to vibe with, this new me, this new stage, this new space, this new chapter, so to speak. So the kids have been with their dad for 10 days and just hanging out with him, doing vacation stuff. And I've allowed myself to release the need to just be in their faces. And, so I've checked in with them every night just to say goodnight, and allowed them to have fun with their time, and allowed myself to pause whenever some aggravation might come up, and just sit with it until I'm non-reactive, and then engage in a way that's intentional. So instead of texting back and forth with my ex if he's having a aggravation, pausing, giving it some space, giving it some time, and then reaching out and saying, hey, can I call you? Can we talk on the phone? And then having a phone conversation that's more personal and intentional, so that we can actually express our emotions better versus just words in a text. So that's been great too. Being able to kind of like hang out with the family and make dinners, and just interact, outside of the pool, hanging out, watching movies, doing different things, just being able to be in the sun. And yes, it's just been so lovely to be here, to interact, to start thinking and dreaming and planning. My sister from California is coming for a visit next week, and so gonna plan to hang out and enjoy some sand and sun with them, and family time. So it's just gonna be super amazing and awesome. Everything has just been beautifully aligned, and I've just been more and more getting in tune with my body and my intuition, and it's a yoga, breath, and body connection. Also being more engaged with my spirit and my soul and my energy, because that is who essentially I am, with all the labels released and all the things, to the side. It's just, that's what I am, energy. And I need to be more aware of that in certain situations, and I've been doing a really good job of releasing all of these outside negatives or undesirables. Being able to like sit in traffic, have somebody cut me off, not get the front parking space. Like, certain things that used to really get under my skin are now just blessings. And I just can say, well, thank you for this red light. So I can sit here and observe this intersection, or so I can be with myself for a few more minutes that I wouldn't have had if I had a green light. Just to be able to be present, be in the state of gratitude, and just have this beautiful feeling of peace. And it's just a lovely thing, and I'm so excited to be here in this space, in this state, in this place, and to have moved forward and changed chapters, changed scripts, changed movies, because I know that there's so many amazing things coming. And like I said, I'm going to continue to make these little quick updates, not necessarily specific days or like full, morning to evening breakdowns, but just quick little life updates. After I complete my sound healing certification, I will be starting to try to put together maybe a program, or maybe not exactly a program, but just put together something that I could bring to you guys to just kind of like share my experience and my growth of doing sound bath, sound healing, along with yin yoga and just doing those combinations, because my focus really on this next chapter, this next phase, is how can I give back? How can I bring light and love and peace and joy and, just all of those things that I've been able to experience and gain from my, over the last 3 years of me changing and being more intentional about everything and being more in the state of gratitude. How can I now bring what I've learned and the peace that I have to others so that others can have that as well, because it was just so transformative for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing coming up. In the next couple of months, I don't know exactly a timeline, and we'll see, because the kids are starting school in August, so I'll be getting into that school schedule rhythm. And then I also got a job at a health and wellness center, helping people with biohacking and all the things I love. Because if you've listened to any of my daily diary posts, I'm very much into cryotherapy and red light and compression and IV drips and all of those biohacking methods. So this is be really cool for me to connect with people, to be passionate about the services I already love and I'm passionate about. And in a way, even though it's a job and I'm getting, money, it's a way for me to give and to help. And that's really where I want to be. I want to be in a more of a place of giving than receiving. Of course, there's receiving that happens, and receiving is necessary. But it's not about me going out there and being like, oh, what can I get? What can I get? What can I get? It's me going out there with the intention of how can I be of service? How can I give? How can I, share? So that's the next kind of little bit. And like I said, I'll keep doing updates and let you guys know what's going on. But I thank you so much for listening, for tuning in, for anything I say that you are really excited about, or have any questions about, please drop me a comment. I'd love to hear it. If you want to go back and listen in on some of these first 100 days, it's crazy. It's so crazy to see the first 100 days versus the most recent days. And even me listening to my voice in the beginning was so restricted and so low and unsure. And now I can listen to my voice and I can just feel the passion. I can feel the excitement. I can feel the joy. I can feel the gratitude. It's crazy how you can just get that by somebody's voice. So, people have told me that I have a great voice and I should get into voice acting, but I honestly don't know how to go about doing that. And it's one more thing to put on my radar, on my plate here. And, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen, and I'll find that connection and opportunity. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. As always, subscribe, share, comment, like, and all of the things. Again, these are unedited, raw, real, uncut, just, press record and post. So I appreciate you guys so much. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.